Silence becomes the blade. A shadow once carved the sea like a surgeon's scalpel. No fanfare. No flag. No wake of triumph. It appeared, struck, and dissolved into mist. Its name was not sung in ports. It was whispered, Black Vortex. Rafael Vortain had never dreamed of horizons. He was raised in barracks, the son of a naval engineer who spoke more about pressure gauges than poetry. He learned maps the way others learned myths. He memorized coastlines, not constellations. His life was method, calculation, restraint. And yet, he had a gift. He could hear the silence between sounds. That sliver of nothingness before the cannon fired, after the fuse hissed. The pause between an enemy's mistake and the chance to seize it. In that silence, he acted. When he broke formation during a failed raid to save a cutter full of his men, he was dismissed. Not dishonored. Not tried. Simply cast out, for disobedience. He gave no plea, no protest. He carried only silence in his eyes. That silence became his blade. The ship he found was nothing of legend at first glance. Black Vortex looked worn, too lean, too dark, as if built from shadows. Her figurehead was no proud saint or siren, but a hollow-eyed demon, charred by storms. She creaked even in gentle winds. Her crew was restless, undisciplined, bickering over rations, fumbling with ropes. The gunners missed easy targets. The navigator lost bearings in fog. 2 men nearly killed each other over stale bread. Vortain did not shout. He simply observed. The next morning, he assigned them to the same lookout post, side by side atop the mast. They descended hours later, silent, the fight between them dissolved. That was the moment the crew realized, this was no democracy. This was a survival machine. Their first raid was clumsy. They fired late. The wind turned. A cannon misfire scorched their own sail. The Vortex limped away in shame. But every soul on board learned, hesitation costs blood. From then on, drills became law. Day and night. In storms, in fevers, in despair. Ropes thrown blindfolded. Reloads practiced until iron felt like flesh in their hands. Those who begged to leave were denied. No exits. No excuses. The sea offers none. Gradually, the crew shed their former selves. Memories of home faded. The past evaporated. The future did not matter. There was only now, timing, breath, precision. Black Vortex became a living instrument of survival. By the 5th month, they intercepted a vessel from Mercuria. No resistance. But below deck, women, children, a priest. The crew split, report and claim a bounty, or sink it to erase witnesses. The arguments raged. Vortain said nothing. At dawn, the ship was gone, without wreckage, without record. From that day forward, the crew understood, Vortain was not at war. He was walking a path. The storms of the 7th month swallowed the stars. Even the compass seemed unsure. That was when Lena Armory vanished. She was their finest navigator, able to read storms by the breath of wind, able to find north without seeing it. Her maps were left on the table. Her bunk untouched. No sign of struggle. Only a note in the logbook. Clouds hide the stars, but I can hear the shore. The crew searched the decks. Nothing. Vortain gave no orders. That night, Black Vortex turned east, off course, into uncertainty. At dawn, they saw what waited on their original path, a wall of imperial sails, a blockade ready to crush them. Had they stayed on course, they would have been ashes. Her absence had become their salvation. From then on, absence itself became navigation. Silence became strategy. The ship no longer needed constant orders. Drills became ritual, lines thrown blind, ropes tied mid-storm, reloads in darkness. Orders grew shorter. Steps softer. The ship moved like a machine. The crew whispered that Lena had gone ahead, unseen, pulling them forward like a phantom thread. Their raids grew cleaner, sharper. They struck convoys with surgical precision, vanishing before the enemy knew what had hit them. Whispers of black vortex spread. Some called them ghosts. Others, demons. The truth was simpler, they were disciplined silence turned into steel. Then came the convoy from La Marine. For once, the enemy did not flee. An Imperial frigate surged ahead in a suicidal ram. A storm of cannon fire ripped the air, splinters flew like knives, blood mixed with salt. For a breath, time froze. The frigate missed by inches, tearing away a rail. Both ships drifted apart, broken but alive. For a full day after, black vortex drifted in silence. Lanterns dimmed. Rain tapped on the deck without answer. Ropes creaked like breathing lungs. The crew moved as if afraid to wake something. By the second dawn, drills resumed. No speeches, no questions. The ship carried scars, but also proof that survival was no accident. The end, or the beginning, arrived with sails blackening the eastern horizon. A full Imperial fleet advanced. Not patrol. Not warning. A reckoning. The northern path was open. Escape was possible. But Vortain ordered west, into the storm. The old helmsman Elt asked, "Is this the end?" Vortain's reply was calm. "No. This is the moment." Winds howled. Lightning tore the sky. The ship vanished into grey fury. Cannons roared from the fleet, but the storm swallowed them. Some say the sea opened a corridor and black vortex slipped into it. Others swear the ship rose a wave like a mountain and never returned. When the storm cleared, only fragments were found, a scorched figurehead, maps blurred in a bottle, charred wood. No mast. No sails. No bodies. Just silence. But silence does not always mean death. Even now, sailors whisper of moving lights in rain, of hollow thunder rolling across calm waters. On certain charts, there is still a place unmarked, with only a single word beside it. Observe. Not a threat. A discipline. The inheritance of a captain who taught men to listen to silence, and a ship that lived between storm and stillness. Black vortex may be gone. Or perhaps it still waits, unseen, in waters where maps refuse ink. Waiting. Observing. Anchor if you've sailed this far into the story and felt the pull of the black vortex, don't let the tide take you away. Subscribe to Ghosts of the Waves, where ships are more than wood and sail, and legends never sink.